Hi there, I'm Bonnie McCaffery, and thank you so much for coming back for another VidCast. This month, I'm at the International Quilt Festival in Houston, and it is another spectacular show. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Take a look at this first quilt that I'm standing in front of that's by Sue Nichols and her sister Pat Holly. The applique is exquisite, and this quilting in the border, oh my gosh, it's absolutely beautiful. So let's go take a look at some more quilts. I have a real treat here. I have come across Jay McCarroll, who is the very first Project Runway winner, and this is so cool.
Yeah.
Now, I saw in your line of clothing that you had a lot of quilting.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been quilting?
I'm not a traditional quilter per se, but I've been influenced by quilting since I was very young. We used to go to Lancaster County a lot, so we're examining Amish quilts from a very young age. And my sister's a quilter, so quilting has always kind of been in my blood. And we always had a delicious closet in our hallway filled with yarn and buttons and old fabrics and stuff. Yeah. So I was always around it. And then probably around junior high, I started making my own costumes. And and I went to fashion design school, and I studied in London at London College of Fashion too. So I've always been sewing, but I always noticed that patchwork and quilting and color blocking, it always kind of worked its way into my work. You know, lots of top stitching, lots of handwork, beading, knitting. So I've always been a crafter, right? But I kind of got thrown into a fashion world.
So where has your career gone since you left Project Runway?
Well, I moved to New York. And I lived there. Yeah, moved to Manhattan, and I lived there for 3 years. And the first year, all I did was go to parties.
Such a party boy.
Exactly. And the other years, I was just trying to figure out my path, you know, and I showed a line at New York Fashion Week at Bryant Park.
Cool.
And I made a documentary film, and then I moved back to Philadelphia to teach.
And so what do you teach?
I teach fashion figure drawing. So I teach students how to draw clothing and everything about that. Technical drawings and rendering fabrics and doing prints and, you know, trying to elongate the body to look like a fashion figure. Yeah. And, so that's a lot of fun.
I think you said you had a line of clothing on QVC.
I launched a line of clothes on QVC, and you can find those on QVC.com.
Cool.
And I have a documentary film coming out in February, and you can find that at jmccarrolldocumentary.com. You can watch the trailer. And that's called 11 Minutes. And what else? Just this line of fabric I think is going to occupy me for the next couple years. Yeah, I think it's so exciting that you've designed a line of fabric and you've presented it at Quilt Market here, and that is so cool. Yes. Thank you so much, Jay. And might I add that the community of quilters that I've met this weekend have been fabulous. So nice, welcoming, warm, caring, and it's just really nice. All the people I've been working with, all the Westminster girls.
So you're going to stay?
I hope so.
Good. We can look for more fabrics.
Lots of, not only fabrics, but products and patterns and hopefully apparel and all sorts of new things to come from this world. Well, it'll be exciting to see you grow in our world. Yeah, I hope so. Well, thank you so much, Jay. It's a pleasure. This has been really a treat. We have to look right in the camera. This is so cool. I think the title of this quilt says it all. Inside, there's a person. How could you not love that face? The quilting in this one looks like leather work. Helen Godden, who lives in Australia, painted this piece in a watercolor wet on wet technique and then quilted it. Just beautiful.
think this might be one of my favorite pieces in the show. I just love the buttons and the rhinestones and the birds and the flowers. Just gorgeous. And what would a quilt show be without places to spend your money? And here is just one place that I found with Rita Anderson and Laura Wasilowski. What are you selling here? We have patterns, we have hand-dyed fabric, we have hand-dyed thread, we have silk, we have
little quilts for sale as well.
Yeah. Selling the quilts as well. Oh my gosh.
You can have your own personal collection of art quilts.
And what's the price range? Just curious.
Anywhere from about $90 up to what's your highest one?
Oh, I say about $400.
Yeah, something like that.
Very affordable.
You could take home a little delicious treat from Frida or Laura.
Add to your collection. Yes, you must.
Yes.
So cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bonnie.
We got to go spend more money. Congratulations. This is one stunning quilt, and you have got to be so excited.
We are.
So who did what?
That's a tough call because we really, truly collaborated on the whole piece.
You were working at Ricky's studio, weren't you?
9 days.
How'd that work out?
It was amazing.
Dream come true.
Exhausting.
Once in a lifetime kind of experience.
How long were you there?
9 days.
Whoa, that is a nice long start. And then it traveled to each of you to finish your part of it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you.
It is absolutely spectacular.
Thank you.
You got to be so tickled.
Yep. Yeah.
I think I love every piece that Deborah Sylvester has ever done. It is amazing what she can do with little tiny pieces of fabric. Annette Hendricks always does the most amazing quilts. I love this piece with the orchids. All right, I ran into one of the prize winners. This is Renee Haddadine, and your quilt is stunning. So what's involved in doing this quilt?
There's shadow work in there in a few different ways. The trapento behind the embroidery, metallic threads, and deco stitches here.
Oh.
And embroidery, and then piecing, and a lot of machine quilting.
I just had to stand next to this quilt so you could see how tiny these little pieces are. This miniature is amazing. Would you believe the surface of this quilt is just inked and then quilted? Wow. Okay, now I have found the winner of all winners. This is Sharon Chamborg, and oh my gosh, this is an incredible quilt. What's the most common question you're asked about the quilt?
How long it took.
And how long did it take?
Well, that's hard to say. It's about 2 years, but somewhere around 2,000 hours, somewhere in that ballpark.
Dedication certainly pays off, doesn't it?
It does, it does.
So what is the technique that you use to do this?
Well,
Is it
many.
applique?
It's machine applique. Yes.
Machine applique.
Yes. I use machine trapunto, and I use, of course, the quilting, and then I have the loops, and I use piece lacquer.
The what?
The loops on the edge.
Oh, the loops on the side.
Yeah.
Wow. You are one master, and congratulations.
Thank you.
It
Thank you
is
very much.
stunning.
Thank you.
I just love the title of this piece. Look for the magic, always. Doesn't it just look like you could walk right into that water? What's amazing is that this is foundation pieced. Okay, I am here with Rita Stephenson, and this is your absolutely gorgeous piece. How'd you do it?
It is all applique, and I hand dye all the fabrics with it. And then once I cut out my applique pieces, then I overpaint it with black, with a dark. It's all colored fabrics. All the color you see is the hand dye fabrics, and then it's overpainted with black pigment.
Wow. And then quilted to death.
Quilted to death. You want to see the back?
I do want to see the back. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted from looking at all those quilts. But I am inspired, and I can't wait to get back in my studio to try some new things. I wanted to end in front of this quilt here. This is by Karen K. Buckley, and it's absolutely beautiful. And she has a brand new DVD out called Hand and Machine Applique, the Karen K. Buckley Way. And you might want to take a look at that because Karen is an amazing teacher. And if you ever wanted to applique, that's the DVD you want to own. I also wanted to say thank you so much for those of you that stopped by to tell me that you're watching the VidCast and enjoying them. It's a labor of love, and that is my reward, so thank you so much. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it this month, and I hope you'll come back next month to see what I have for you then. Thanks for being with me.
Goodbye. Happy quilting.
Thanks.
I'm a television superstar.